Good day, good day, good day. I want to welcome you to the Holistic Life Podcast. I'm your host, Shelby Frederick, also known as Lady Jules, the voice between the silence and the storm. If you're ready to break cycles, confront truth, and build boldly in alignment with your assignment, then you're in the right place. Let's unlock the hidden strategies of heaven so you can scale with purpose and with peace. Listen here, I want to welcome you back because today we are going to pull this curtain back on something that I believe will shift everything for you. If you've been in a season where your strategy isn't sticking, where you're doing all the right things to scale but not seeing fruit, listen, this episode is your wake up call. Before the funnel, before the fire, there's a moment where heaven reveals the root. And if you have followed me, you know that I love talking about the roots and getting down into the soil of things. And so if you skip it, you end up scaling cycles instead of stewarding breakthrough. So I want you to go ahead and get your journal, grab a cup of tea, and let's talk about the hidden step before strategy. The hidden step before strategy. Now, I want to look at this in this first segment, the illusion of preparedness. Because if we're honest, we're trained to think that once you have the logo, the landing page, and the lead magnet, that you're ready to scale. But I want to challenge you. Have you dealt with what's under the strategy? You may say, Shelby, what exactly are you talking about? What do you mean? You see, the strategy is very important. I teach strategy, I coach with it, I believe in it, but there is a spiritual scan that has to happen before strategy can really take root. If your heart, your mindset, or your motives are out of alignment, your strategy won't stick. It will just expose what hasn't been healed. You can scale your skill and still sabotage your success. Let me say it again. You can scale your skill and still sabotage success. And so many of us are trying to elevate with an identity that heaven never assigned. So let me say this. If you build without confronting, you'll always be editing your vision around your fear. I know that this is something that we don't always talk about, and that these are the things that we like to, keep behind the screen. But listen, this is not the time to keep it behind the screen. This is the time for us to, with all of our vulnerabilities, is to come out and to face the elephant that is in the room. So let's talk about the scan that you are avoiding. This is the part that no one, again, that we don't talk about this. What about the inner vows that you are building from? What disappointments have you coded into your definition of safe? What false identities have you worn just to get through? You see, before you scale, you need to scan. Scan. You need to look. And not just surface level, soul searching, soul searching, soul searching. I'm talking about soul scans. I'm talking about motive checks. I'm talking about identity resets. I'm talking about all of the subconscious cleanups. Because otherwise, strategy just becomes a band aid. And you'll spend thousands on programs that you don't implement. And you'll launch courses from wounds. You'll create offers that are clever but not called. And so heaven is asking some of us and some of you, can I trust what you're building? Can heaven trust what it is that we are building? Now, here's the real work. The real work that comes first. I'm going to walk us through what this may look like. We've been talking about D.D.B, or discern, dismantle, and build. One, discern the delay. Sometimes the delay isn't demonic, it's divine. It's God slowing you down because the foundation can't hold the future. And so you have to ask yourself, what is this delay teaching about me? Not about others, not about anything else. What is this delay teaching me about me? The second thing is to dismantle the illusion. What have you mistaken as readiness? Are you rehearsing someone else's blueprint? Are you calling compassion confirmation? What's the illusion? What's the illusion? And three is build from revelation, not just resources. You don't need another Canva template. Not right now. You need clarity in the spirit. You need to hear the strategy that heaven is breathing on, and not just the trend that IG or TikTok is feeding you. Before you scale in the natural, you need alignment in the spirit. So what happens when you skip this step? When you skip the scan, you replicate old patterns with a new platform. You chase visibility and call it vision. You mistake busy work for breakthrough. And when it doesn't work, you spiral into this place of self-doubt, thinking something is wrong with you. But maybe, just maybe, you were trying to scale from a version of you that God already called out of you. And this is why I believe, and this is why I know that discernment is the most under taught part of strategy. And we need more leaders who will pause before they publish, who will confront before they create, who will build from conviction and not convenience. And the reason why I can talk about D.D.B, discern, dismantle, and build, I can talk about what happens when you skip the step, because I've skipped this step. I found myself in a place where I was replicating and the old patterns and just putting it in a new platform, just putting it under a new name. I know what that is like. And it wasn't until I went through these steps and through the process, the hidden step, when God began to reveal to me the hidden step, then now I had a new framework in order to come into this season with. So let's talk about this hidden step, this discern, dismantle, and build. Number one is that you have to discern what season you're truly in. There was a time where I really thought that the season, because I had all of these pieces, and I would do something, and it would be good. I would do another thing and it would be good, and I would do another thing and it would be good. But I didn't know how to tie all of the pieces together. I didn't know how to truly scale it and what that looked like. And so I had to begin to now discern, is this the season for wellness? Is this the season for mental health? Is it the season for leadership development? What exactly is the season? And the next thing that I had to do was I now had to begin to dismantle what no longer serves the next level. It's not that what you did was bad, but God calls us to levels. There are levels to our call. The Bible talks about us going from glory to glory and faith to faith. And so sometimes we try to take the last level into the next level. But if it doesn't serve the next level, it cannot come with us. And sometimes we are trying to take the next, the current stuff into the next level, but it doesn't serve that place. It doesn't serve that purpose. So we have to begin to dismantle what no longer serves the next level, so that when we get to the third part of the framework, which is to build, we build what is in alignment with the assignment. And sometimes the assignment changes. So, this is what brings your strategy into agreement with heaven. This is what builds fruit that remains. And this is what breaks cycles of the burnout, the fear, and the false starts. You know what the false starts are? If you're familiar with track and field, you get into position on your mark, you get set. My God, but because you have not discerned, you have not dismantled, you have not brought this place of building, you have not aligned with the strategy of heaven, you're not in agreement with heaven, you false start. You start before God says go. And so if you want to go deeper into that process, if there was something that I have spoken in this short time that I have spent with us on today, in the podcast today, if something has spoken to you, my God, there is a deeper process. There will be a way for us to connect soon and very soon. But today, I just want to leave you with this. Don't scale what God called you to surrender. Don't brand what God told you to bury. And don't rush what heaven is still refining. You don't have to hustle to prove you're ready. You just simply need to become who can carry what's coming. Wow. My God. I pray that this episode has stirred something in you. And listen, I'll be the first to tell you, this is not about shame. I don't believe in shaming people. This is about alignment before acceleration. And so if you've been skipping this hidden step, I want you to take this week to pause and to pray. God, show me what I've been building from. Show me what I need to confront. Realign my vision with your voice. And if you're ready to walk this out with others on the same journey, I want you to stay close, because the D.D.B experience is coming. So until next time, I want you to keep living whole, keep healing deeply, and keep building boldly. Go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to our weekly insights. We're going to drop the link where you will be able to get on the wait list, on the D.D.B wait list, so that you will be a part of our upcoming challenge that we have coming forth in June. And if you want to go deeper into the cohorts, you have the opportunity to do that. But make sure you subscribe for weekly insights on healing, alignment, and breakthrough. I'm your host, Shelby Frederick. Thank you so much. We look forward to talking with you soon. Blessings and bye-bye. Thank you for joining us on the Holistic Life Podcast, where our foundation is the Word of God and our path is wellness in His life. We hope today's episode enriches your journey to a life of health and spiritual fulfillment. Remember, each step toward holistic living is a step closer to embodying His teachings. For continued inspiration, follow our journey. Until next time, embrace your faith, nurture your entire being, and watch your life bloom in His glory. We'll catch you on the airways. Be blessed.